This is Market Wisdom, episode 53, delivered by Twigby Eizogi. For forex, stocks, options, derivatives, commodities, futures, and all chart-related trading. The purpose of this broadcast is to enhance your trading abilities. Now was to expand your capacity to trade effectively with consistent profit. You can contact us for account management or for training. You can reach us via WhatsApp or call 080 375 97085. Besides trading, there is probably no other profession where you have to admit when you are wrong. In trading, you can't hide your failures. Your equity provides a daily reflection of your performance. The trader who tries to blame his losses on external events will never learn from his mistakes. For a trader, rationalization is a guaranteed road to ultimate failure. If I were to select traders, I would pick people on the basis of psychological traits. Essentially, I would look for people with the ability to admit mistakes and take losses quickly. Most people view losing as a hit against their self-esteem. As a result, they postpone losing. They think of all sorts of reasons for not taking losses. They select a mental stop point and then fail to execute it. They abandon their game plan. If something happened once, I think logic tells you that it can happen again. We could get a bear market that would be far worse than most people could imagine. And people who have the notion that buying and holding for the long term is the way to go can easily go bankrupt. We all go through periods when we are out of sync with the market. When I start losing, I cut back my position size, sometimes trading as little as 1% of the account. When I get into a losing streak, I like to read a non-fiction book, to learn something new, to take my mind off of trading. Second, by enhancing my knowledge, I help improve my self-esteem. The key is to do something positive. I sometimes pull myself away from the market totally, sometimes for as long as a month or two. Such withdrawals from the market is a good practice, without a doubt. You don't want to keep losing if you are in the market, because that will only destroy your self-confidence even more. Ty Cobb once was asked why he never had slumps. He said that whenever he felt himself getting into a slump, he wouldn't try to get a hit, but he would simply try to make contact with the ball. To relate that concept to trading, when you are in a slump, try to be patient and wait for a trade that you feel very confident about, and keep the best size small. Your goal should not be to make lots of money, but rather to get your confidence back by making correct decisions. I know this will sound like a cliche, but the single most important reason that people lose money in the financial market is that they don't cut their losses short. It is a curiosity of human nature that no matter how many books talk about this rule, and no matter how experts offer this advice, people still keep making the same mistake. The key to building wealth is to preserve capital and wait patiently for the right opportunity to make the extraordinary gains. The mistake people make is that they don't approach trading as a business. I've always viewed trading as a business. When I first look at a trade, I don't ask, what is the potential profit I can realize? But rather, what is the potential loss I could suffer? In other words, the foremost is the preservation of capital. I strive for consistent profitability by balancing my risk relative to the accumulated profits or losses. Consistency is far more important than making lots of money. I attempt to achieve superior returns. I do this by increasing my bet size after, and only after, periods of high profitability. In other words, if I have had a particularly profitable recent period, I may try to pyramid my gains by placing a larger bet size, assuming, of course, the right situation presents itself. This brings us to the end of episode 53. Join us next week, same time, for subsequent episodes. Remember to contact us for training and account management. We assure you consistent profit return. Thank you.